Good morning, children. Welcome to the English class. In the previous class, we learned the story of Peter Rabbit. I hope you have read the story again and again. So today, let's see a few exercises from the chapter. So all of you, please take your English reader and turn to page number 68. The first set of exercise is a reading comprehension. You have to take the correct answer, and for each question, there are choices given there. We can do this as an activity now. Find out the correct choice. First pause the video, find out or tick the correct choice there and come back. Hope you are done with that activity. Now let's discuss each question one by one. The first one. Question number 1. Mrs. Rabbit had dash children. How many children? She had 4 children. And who were they? Flopsy, Mopsy, Cottontail and Peter. Second question, Flopsy, Mopsy and Cottontail dash listen to their mother. Is it sometimes, never, always or rarely? They always listen to their mother, and Peter was the only one who never listened to his mother. So, Flopsy, Mopsy and Cottontail always listen to their mother. Question number 3, Peter ate dash of Mr. McGregor's vegetables. Is it some, a lot, a little bit or all? So Peter ate some of Mr. McGregor's vegetables. Question 4. Mr. McGregor ran after Peter with a dash. Was it with a rake? Was it with a hoe? Was it with a flower pot? Or was it with a stick? Mr. McGregor ran after Peter with a rake. Question number 5. Peter's mother gave him dash for dinner. Was it blackberries, gooseberries, tea or milk? Peter's mother gave him tea for dinner. Why? Because he was feeling unwell after being chased by Mr. McGregor. So let's move on to the next section of exercise. Let's answer these questions. Let's see the first one. Question number 1. Where did Peter live? Peter lived in a sandbag under the root of a big fir tree. And question number 2. What happened to Peter's red jacket? What happened? The buttons of the red jacket got caught on the gooseberry net, right? So how do you write that answer? Peter's red jacket had to be left behind in Mr. McGregor's garden as its large buttons got caught in a gooseberry net when Peter was running away from there. Now, question number 3. Where did Peter hide? Where did he hide? Peter hid inside a can of water in the tool shed. Now, question 4. Was it a good hiding place? Why or why not? You think it was a good hiding place? It was not a good hiding place as the can was full of water. Peter felt cold and sneezed. Now question number 5. How did Peter manage to reach home? Peter managed to reach home by jumping out of a window and running as fast as possible. He asked a rat and then a cat for directions, as he could not find his way to the gate that led out of the garden. Hope you are clear with the answers. You can note down these answers in your notebook. Now the next section is section C, think and answer. And you can see 3 questions here. Go through each question carefully and think of what could be the answer. You can even note down your answer in your notebook. So you do this as an activity now. Please pause the video, finish it and come back. Then I'll share my thoughts on these answers. Hope you are done with that. Now, let me share my thoughts on these questions and their answers. The first question, do you think Peter is daring and adventurous rabbit or a bit silly? Why? Is he a daring and adventurous rabbit or a bit silly? I think he is a daring and adventurous rabbit as he took the risk of being caught in order to enjoy the vegetables in Mr. McGregor's garden. He is also a silly rabbit because he did not obey his mother, and if he had been caught, he would have been beaten badly. By whom? By Mr. McGregor. Now let's see question number 2. How do you think Peter felt as he was running to Mr. McGregor's garden? How do you think Peter felt? I think Peter felt very excited about going into Mr. McGregor's garden to eat his vegetables. He had decided that he would not obey his mother, so as soon as she left, he ran straight there. Now, question number 3. How do you think Peter felt as he was running home? As he was running home, I think Peter felt very sorry for disobeying his mother. He had almost been caught by McGregor and lost his way while running to save himself. So he was a frightened rabbit who realized that it was wrong to have disobeyed his mother. So that was about section C. Now let's move on to the next section. It's about values and life skills. And here we're going to talk about personal safety and critical thinking. Let's read the question. We often do not pay heed to our elders' warnings about going to unknown places or with strangers. Heed means attention. We often do not pay attention to our elders' warnings about going to unknown places or with strangers. Do you think we should be adventurous and try out new things that elders ask us not to do? Discuss with your elbow partner. So do you think we should be adventurous, try out new things without asking the elders? So I suggest as children, it's better to listen to your elders, because trying to be just adventurous without telling your elders can land you in great trouble. So it's always better to listen to your elders. And for the question given here, you can have your thoughts on this, and you can even note down your thoughts on the question given here in your notebook. Now, let's move on to the next section of exercise, and it's the vocabulary session. So before we move into the exercises given there, let's learn something new today. We're going to learn about phrasal verbs. So what are phrasal verbs? See, you can combine a verb with a preposition or an adverb to make something called a phrasal verb. And most often, these phrasal verbs will mean something different than the verb used to make it. And the meaning of the verb used in a phrasal verb changes according to the preposition or adverb used in it. Let's see some examples. See, the first question or the first example. Seema put on her new jacket as it was quite cold. You see the phrasal verb here? Put on. It's a combination of words. So the phrasal verb put on here means wore. Seema put on her new jacket, or Seema wore her new jacket as it was quite cold. So the phrasal verb to put on means to wear. Now the example 2, the cricket match was put off until Sunday because of heavy rains. Here the phrasal verb put off means postponed or cancelled. So the cricket match was put off, or the cricket match was postponed until Sunday because of heavy rains. Now the third example, I cannot put up with the tantrums of this child. Here the phrasal verb put up with means tolerate. I cannot put up with, or I cannot tolerate the tantrums of this child. See how the meaning of the word or the verb put changes according to the preposition or adverb used in each case. So that's what we said earlier, the meaning of the phrasal verb. The meaning of the verb used in a phrasal verb changes according to the preposition or adverb used in it. So I hope you're clear with what are phrasal verbs. So with these in mind, let's move on to the vocabulary exercise section, which is in page number 69. There is a table given there. You can see that match the phrasal verb with its meaning. You can see 5 phrasal verbs given there in the left column, and on the right the meanings of each of them are given, but not in the right order. You have to match the phrasal verb with the correct meaning. You can do this as an activity. You can use your dictionary to find out the correct meaning of each of these phrasal verbs and do this activity. Please pause the video, finish this one and come back. Hope you are done with that activity. Now let's see which is the correct match for each one. The first one, get away. Get away, the phrasal verb get away means to escape. So you have to match get away with option C, escape. The second one, get up. Get up means to stand up. So number 2, get up, the correct match is option D, to stand up. Now 3, get over. Get over means recover from. So the correct option is 3, get over. The correct one is A, recover from. Now 4, get back. To get back means to return. So fourth one, get back. The correct option is E, return. Now fifth one, get into. The correct option is enter, option B. So to get into means to enter. We can number the options in the correct order. Now the next section of exercise. Complete the story with phrasal verbs from the table. You may have to change the form of some of the phrasal verbs. So we have seen some phrasal verbs in the table that we saw earlier. So from this list of phrasal verbs that you learned, you have to use the correct phrasal verb to fill up the blanks in the given passage. So do this as an activity now. Please pause the video, and in some cases you may have to change the tense of the verb given there. So do this as an activity. Please pause the video, finish it and come back. Hope you are done with that. Now let's see what is the correct option to be filled up there to complete the passage. So let's see the answers. Peter was a naughty rabbit who always got into trouble. Mr. McGregor almost caught Peter with the rake, but he got up and managed to get away and hide in a watering can. When he got back to his house under the big fir tree, Peter was very tired and sick. It took him a few days to get over the cold he caught hiding in the watering can, but he was back to his naughty self in no time. So I hope you got all the answers correct. So children, you can go through this exercise once again to make yourself clear with the concepts and the story. So that's all for today. We'll see the rest of the exercises in the next class. Till then, bye.